Welcome back to cturboaddict's channel. Today I want to talk about Team Z, TZM ARB XD Z ARB 8X000. This is the Team Z Motorsports anti-roll bar. Grab a little something here. Comes with this roll bar end link kit. There's a Team Z video. I can talk about what this is anyway. This is for a Foxbody Mustang. It's a drag racing anti-roll bar. Not necessarily designed for the street by the way that it attaches. If you don't know how it works, just search in YouTube Team Z anti-roll bar video. I'll link it in the description as well. Anyhow, what it does is when you launch, it stops the body from twisting like this. You've seen all the pictures of everybody's car where its frame looks like it's out of whack like that and it's going down the track. It keeps you straight, helps you stay straight and go straight down the track. Anyhow, so I got the extreme duty version of this. This is their drag race specific unit. And I want to talk about it before I show anything about an install. First and foremost, I've got some concerns. It comes with no instructions. The only thing there is to find is a poorly documented video of, I guess, Mr. Team Z himself and some other guy and a welder, and they pop this thing in bad lit conditions. And you know what? Maybe it's idiot proof. Maybe I'm an idiot. There's probably some chances of that. Anyhow, first and foremost, in the video, they show them putting this in between the frame rails above the rear axle, and they're forcing it between there. If you see, I'm showing you, this is how it would go into the car, with this being the floor pan, this being the rear of the car, and this being the front of the car. These are angled, as you can see, so that the frame rails taper for you to slide in. I put mine up there, and it slides all the way to the wall. It hits fuel vapor lines. So I don't know if I'm supposed to space these out. I would assume so, that we space these out a little bit. Secondly, they give you these plates with these bronze bushings. I'm assuming they're a silicone bronze bushing. And then they give you the chromoly bar. I'm leaving the wrapping on there while I'm installing it. And then they give you the hardware kit for the end links. They got to get welded to the axle and so on and so forth. Well, mind you, this is a 9-inch rear for a Foxbody Mustang, but they'll go like right here, and you weld them 90 degrees off the pumpkin, and you can adjust the preload once you put those on. We'll get there later. Anyhow, so I got this. Now, these grease zerks are not in these, first and foremost. These come off. So these come off, so you can slide these in and out a little bit. But mine is about, man, I want to say it's a 1/4 inch narrow of the tightest width on my car, from inside to inside. It's about a 1/4 inch. So, I think I'm going to have to put, if you kind of see here, I'm going to have to put like an 1/8 inch gap between these. There's another gentleman that did a video on the install of this, and he had a lot of trouble. And I was really glad to see that, because it was more of an honest scenario of somebody actually putting these things in. Now, the second part of this is supposed to freely rotate up and down with the suspension, okay? In the Team Z video, boy, he's barely touching this thing, and it's rolling no problem, okay? It would just glide, through in the silicone bushings. That was not the case for me. Mine were extremely stiff. They were binding just out of the car, just sitting like this. I could not twist this 360 degrees around this shaft. So I kind of wanted to bring this up in case you have some problems with this thing. I took mine apart. I took the end caps on these, and then I polished all of these ends. You could literally see where I was, when you would slide this on, they had some sort of graphite lube inside here. And you could see the highs and the low spots in like, there was only a quarter of this thing that was not rubbing on the silicone bronze. Well, you know, silicone bronze by nature is a sacrificial type bushing. It will degrade and shape to everything that you're dealing with. But I think starting with the tube being in a perfect round or a machined end would be much more suitable for this application. Maybe I'm being anal, I don't know. Just kind of drives me crazy, you know, what some of these things that are getting sent out. I did try to call Team Z today. I got no answer. It did say they were open on their page. I called them early enough to kind of talk to them about where does this thing actually get installed, because the only mention in the video is 1 3/4 from the bulkhead. I have no idea what the height is. You know, where at on the bulkhead, you know, it's just, I need more information to make sure that this is being installed properly. It just doesn't seem like something you willy-nilly and put in position. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Anyhow, so I spent a few hours, hang on here, let me, had to set that down, my apologies, slide that bushing back on. I spent a couple hours cleaning all these ends of these shafts off so that I could get this in a proper functioning form, very similar to what you see in the Team Z video. Now, the gentleman that made a video about installing this and showed all of his troubles, his was doing the same thing, and apparently he was told by Team Z that he was a one-off condition. I'm here to say that I'm second to that, for at least, if not, there's more of us. Thirdly, I installed grease zerks on these. I don't know why they don't have them on there. I do know that they make a claim in their video that they've never in a decade, and I think the video was 5 years ago or something, never in a decade have they ever had, they've only had one of these fail. Silicone bronze is supposed to be lubricated. I mean, traditionally this is used in an oil type application. That's the most common use for a silicone bushing, or a bronze bushing, is in an oiled application. I'm putting a grease zerk on there and it's going to be greased. I currently put silicone grease in there, so it's a little stiffer, but it does fall and they do roll no matter which way I put these plates and clamp them down. So this is how it should function. You know, be slightly stiff, but you know, it should roll when it's on its own weight down, you know. Mine was not doing that. So if you're having trouble with it, you know, invest in trying to clean up the ends a little bit. You know, maybe give Team Z a call. I'm going to call them and follow up with this because I kind of want to know if I'm crazy here. I don't mind doing the little bit of extra work, but you know, for some of the price that we pay for some of these items, I think that, you know, they should be coming ready to go, or, you know, whatever. Give us a little bit of instruction on what to do or how to make it work. I will do a video on installing this and kind of see about what qualms I come about, because obviously you don't want these plates to bind against this. You want the concentricity of this bearing to be in line with the concentricity of this shaft, or else it won't freely rotate. You'll start binding again, and you don't want that. But right now, it takes very minor force to get it to move. You know, like that's falling. But you see it's not slamming down. And that's with me going to silicone. The graphite was a little bit looser than this. And the silicone is just, it's a preference of mine. It's probably one of my favorite greases, especially in something that might get wet at any point in time. Obviously, now that this is a contained unit, once this is installed, I will put a different type of grease in there. But, you know, these get welded in. This never comes out without cutting out these welds and having to replace this entire plate in this bushing. So I'd like to try and get the longevity out of it by adding a little bit of grease. Okay, anyway, that's just my qualm on a Team Z and a roll bar XD. This is their link thing. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this. Maybe I'm crazy. So thanks, guys. You can see the gouging right there. It's got a pretty good pattern marking on the one side, except for right on that spot right there. And look at the other side. Look at this wear mark right there. Picks back up to not rubbing, and you can see it's worn there, not worn there. This tube or bushing is out of round.